our community, our hometown. This is Kearney Live on 102.7 FM, our hometown radio station. Kearney Live is presented by Kearney Trust, 310 West 92 Highway in Kearney, 816-628-6666. And now here's the hosts of Kearney Live, Mike Davis and Jim Dickerson.
I'm your host, Mike Davis. You are listening to Kearney Live, and I'm here today, fortunately, with Brian Watts, who's at the controls and doing a marvelous job of it, if I say so myself, and I do. And along with me, my good friend and co-host, Mr. Jim Dickerson. Jim, how you doing today?
It's good to be here today. How are you doing?
I am living the dream, sir, and life doesn't get any better than this. I mean, right this moment. It just can't get any better. Could it possibly?
Could be a little bit.
Yeah, you could write me a really big check, which would be really nice. Today is Teachers' Day. And,
I got nothing.
Well, you got no money, so you can't write the check, is all I'm saying. But I did want to say that we have teachers in the house. That's right. The Kearney, Missouri School District, 3 teachers in the house. And we're going to talk to all 3 of them. And if you think I'm a little nervous, you're right, because I think they're going to ask me to do math. And this is the same feeling I got in, 3rd grade. And I was learning long division, and it was painful. So thank goodness for calculators. We've got Alli Baldwin with us today. Alli, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, that's the studio audience. It sounded like was that an overwhelming response there? I don't know.
I felt like they were a little late getting into the studio.
There it is.
There's more and more people. They're filing in. So what we have to do is we have to tell everyone the show starts at noon. So we need you a little bit beforehand because I can still see people up in the balcony that are kind of filtering in. Hey, how are you doing? I haven't seen you.
Yeah, they're social distancing. Jim.
Yeah,
they're sick. Yeah, that's
and
why
we're trying to work through that.
Right,
And I get it.
I know the line looked a lot longer than it really was.
Yeah, because they were all spread out through the parking lot.
But so welcome to our listener. Good. So, Alli is the girls' swim coach, the high school girls' swim coach.
That's correct.
How wonderful. And that's a new position for you.
Yes.
And you also are a coach of the Tsunami team.
I am. Tsunami swim team.
Right. That starts with a T.
Kansas City. Yep.
But we don't say tsunami.
No, don't say it that way.
Nope. Not going to do that. And you also teach English, which I think is wonderful.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's exciting. How did you, what was the time in your life when you said, I'm going to be a teacher? Or did you just stumble into this profession?
Actually, I probably more stumbled into it.
Oh, here we go.
But, I at one point in time taught at Kansas School for the Deaf, and that's when I solidified that I needed to be a teacher.
Wow.
For life. And it was very rewarding, so I think it was definitely my calling.
Oh, I can't imagine. I mean, there's a story in and of itself that I would really like to hear sometime. I mean, no kidding.
I try to teach Mike every day, and I get nowhere.
I'm so sorry.
I am too.
Not as rewarding, huh?
No, it's not rewarding at all. In fact, it shows me each day what a big failure I am.
His confidence is he's a slow leak. I can hear it. The confidence just going away.
I wouldn't call it a slow leak. It's almost like a blowout.
Oozing out of you. You were doing so well there, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I have to say, too, I remember as a young student, I think most of us going all the way back to grade school had, somewhere along the line, we had a favorite teacher.
Oh, sure.
Who's your favorite teacher? Give him a shout out. Here we go.
I have a couple. I had Mr. Deaver. He was great. He was my 7th grade social studies teacher, and I actually had him in college as well. And then I had Miss O'Reilly, who is now Mrs. Willis. And she was my 9th grade ELA teacher, and I think that's what's brought me back to English and language arts in the junior high position.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
So, mm-hmm.
And where did you go to college?
I went to William Jewell.
Oh, yeah, right here in town. And you said you're a Liberty person.
I graduated from Liberty.
Well, there it is.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Sorry, guys.
As we always
problem.
say,
go Bulldogs.
We will never.
There you go.
Never hold that against you. Where you're from is irrelevant.
I was going to say, which is better, a bulldog or an eagle?
I mean, I've been a bird all the time.
Let me ask you again, because clearly you didn't understand the question. Which is better, a bird dog, or I'm sorry,
Not a bird dog.
well, it is a bird dog. Is it a bulldog or an eagle?
A bulldog.
There you go.
For sure.
Okay.
I love dogs.
I just wanted to make sure.
Can bulldogs fly? Probably not.
Because
Not yet.
look what we have right here.
He's real cute.
Yeah, I know. Little guy right
It's
there.
Geppetto.
And Alli, I think as an English teacher, one of the things that I notice is, as you're an English teacher, but one of the things I notice is the, shall we say, kids nowadays seem to write like they text. Are you finding that? Is that troublesome to you, or am I just imagining this, or is it just the adults I
would
know?
say that's probably true. It's relatable what you're saying. Yes, for sure.
Right. And what is the emphasis or effort that's taken by educators nowadays to stop that?
I think that there's a time and place for it, because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I write in BRB.
Yeah.
I hope everybody knows it. My dad doesn't know what it means.
Right.
Love you, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also think we spend a lot of time correcting.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's right. And, the 2, and 2, there, and there. Are you still struggling?
Your?
Yes. We still struggling with those?
I'm not personally, but my students possibly.
Thank goodness the instructor isn't. Yeah. And so as you're grading papers, I'm curious then, and you'll see generally a couple of pages. Are kids typing things and then sending you a PDF, or how's that work nowadays?
I don't know that kids know how to do a PDF yet.
Okay.
It's more of a Google Doc. That's the world we're in now.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, and then sometimes the emails I get, we work on email etiquette, because that's new to them as well.
Okay.
Putting a 20-sentence paragraph without any punctuation gets
Sounds like one of our news articles.
It's a struggle. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just kidding.
But you do go through there and make corrections then on the Google Doc. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So
sure.
as I recall, the little 3-ring notebook paper that we used to use, there would be red marks and then maybe a little note off on the side that said you're underachieving. You need to do better.
I don't think I'd say that. But
This is horrible.
Just remembering
I can't
the things
believe you
that
submitted it as a document.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So my mom was a teacher for 20, 30 years or whatever it was. She's retired now, as you might have imagined, because she was my mom.
Aww.
However, one of the things, it drives her nuts. So like on Facebook, because people don't seem to realize that when you type on Facebook and your name's attached to it, they know you wrote it. And when you write this, you go on a rant or whatever, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but on Facebook, some people do rant from time to time. Have you ever seen that, Mike?
I've heard tell.
Yes. So, but if you write in incoherent sentences, nobody takes you seriously. I mean, you may have the world's greatest point, but when it's written so horribly, do you guys ever talk about that in class? Like, hey, people see this, don't do it.
Be credible.
Yeah, it's basically social media etiquette as well. Kind
Right.
of like what I was talking about with the email.
So and kind of watch what you're saying, because it's kind of funny because you see it now. Things that people said 10 years ago, now all of a sudden comes back. So you got to watch what you say, because once it's on the internet, it's out there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. When I look at my Facebook memories and see Alli went and got chicken for dinner,
Yeah.
I'm really upset with myself.
See, I look at it and I'm like, that's good chicken.
Right?
Look at
Where
that.
did I get that at?
Or it tells you I need to go to Sonic and get a shake or whatever. But
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, you always do. And again, I mean, I love that people are still wanting to be teachers. I think it is among the most noble professions, and I think you're spending time with other people's kids, which and in the fact that you're a coach, the day is a little longer for you.
It's a lot of time with kids.
You're right, exactly. How do you I guess manage the knowing that every kid's a little bit of a different personality, and you've got to different kids learn different ways. Different kids, even in coaching, you have to approach some of your athletes a little differently from one to another. How do you kind of manage that whole minefield of how kids learn and behavioral issues they may or may not have? That's got to be the toughest part of your job.
I think the approach I take is that I'm here to serve my community, and I take a servant approach to my leadership and what I do. And I think that means that whatever it takes to make that person become a better version of themselves, that's how I modify whatever I give to them. So each kid, it's going to be different, right? But whatever it takes for them to be that good version of themselves, that's what I'm going to work towards.
Right. And it's a very positive approach, and I like that. It's a good positive outlook. Most kids are good. They're good kids. And have you ever heard the phrase that parents get the kids they deserve?
Yeah.
Your parents must be really upset.
Think about that for a minute. I think you did, and you laughed.
Well, because I think about my siblings and I think about me. I think my parents really deserved me. You're welcome, Mom and Dad.
Well done. We're going to keep you on radio here. You're going to be just fine here today. That's hilarious.
Well, while your parents are reveling in their joy, what made you want to come to Kearney?
I grew up in Liberty when there was a junior high, and I really miss that component of that small town feel. And I've just heard wonderful things about the school district here. I have a good friend in the district named Sarah Althouse. Shout out to her as well.
Hi, Sarah.
Shameless plug.
She's awesome, and she's been here for years, and she just said this is the place to be. So.
No kidding. We hear that time after time. I mean, when we started this show, 2 or 3 years ago. How long has it been now? 3 years?
3 years?
And I mean to a person, and we begin to sound like a broken record, but it is such a beautiful song. We love the words that we hear when people say, well, why did you come to Kearney? Well, because of the school district. Mm-hmm. I mean, across the board. It is, it's that good. So you have it's a high.
You have a lot to live up to.
Right?
I do feel like my strengths are harnessed and valued here. So.
And I think you're going to find that when a Kearney school district child writes an email or a Facebook post, it is far more stellar than, say, another district. Did you see the way I didn't name a district there? I did. Another district.
It definitely will be now.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Since I'm here.
I'm feeling it. Did you feel it?
I inferred it.
I love that word too.
See? That's a good one, yeah. Because he was implying it heavily. Yes.
So here's a question for you. When you do a sentence that's a quote.
Oh, here we go. Nice.
You know where I'm going with this?
Calling out one of our writers here.
No, I do have a question, though, because have you, maybe this is, I don't know. Has the writing, some of the writing styles seem to keep changing because of the way we, when you used to handwrite everything, it was different now than when you do. And we've talked about this because the AP styles keep changing and everything else. So like when you write something happened on August 16th and 17th, you used to always have to put the TH. Now I've been informed you don't. And there's all sorts of weirdness. Have you noticed changes in that over time, or is it because we're getting lazy, or?
I think that could be part of it, but I also think that, we have computers that correct everything for us. And so
thank God,
I think we just go with it.
My spelling is atrocious. You know what I used to do as a kid? My mom used to yell at me for this.
No,
when I was a kid, and so you tie your horse up at the school thing, you stoke the fire. But after that, when you'd go in and we'd do reading, writing, and arithmetic, if I got to a word where I was writing and I didn't know how to spell it, I wrote smaller.
So she couldn't read it?
Yeah, the teachers were older and they couldn't read it. So if I get to like there, and it's like EI or IE, I just write it real small and kind of make the letters crunch together, and they'd never catch it.
That reminds me of how when you forget somebody's name and you say, oh, hi. Today we have with us on the show. Hi.
Hey, how you doing? How you been?
Yeah, well,
I'll
tell you,
everybody.
I will tell you, we've got Alli Baldwin on the show with us today, and she is an English teacher and the girls' swim coach at Kearney High School, and we're so happy to have you. It's a lot of fun. Are you excited about getting back to school? I mean, even that we're knowing that it's going to be a little unconventional.
Yeah, ideally, I would love to be face-to-face with my students. I really cherish those relationships I build with them. That's why I'm a teacher.
Right.
I mean, I could talk content, and that's not really my whole motive when I come to teach. Right. And it's really to, like I said, as a servant leader, to build those relationships and make them better versions of themselves.
Well said, and we sure appreciate it. And among law enforcement and others, and you talk about public service, teachers are right up there.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, no doubt about it. I have some favorite teachers that I remember their names. I remember all of my grade school teachers' names, and it was wonderful. So it's a great time. You know what we're going to do today?
Not really.
What are we going to do? Because this was sprung on me when I walked in the door too.
I know, but it was me as well, because our general manager sometimes does. He has tremendously innovative ideas. It's not always shared with those.
I know, until you get in the door, he's like,
we're going
to
do this. But here's what we've got. We're going to play a game, and these cards represent 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 questions for you, Alli. Don't be nervous.
Okay.
If I were you, I'd be sweating bullets. But I'm going to ask.
Done.
I read some of the questions, and I was like,
but these they're trivia type questions. So, shall we start?
Okay.
And Mike, let's talk about what she can win. It's a new boat. By the way, we don't have a boat.
Oh my gosh!
All right, new car for her, but not a new boat.
The first question is, who were the brothers who wrote Hansel and Gretel and Cinderella?
Trip and Dean Kirby. Those are my brothers.
Not bad. That's a fairly reasonable guess for not having a clue. The answer? The Brothers Grimm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably should have known that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I could have.
They might be a little outdated.
I mean,
I was going to say Disney Brothers, but
well, close enough.
Yeah.
But because I see the answer in front of me, it seemed easy. But if you had asked me, I'd be.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
So
when you have the answer right in front of you.
All right, Alli, we're going to move through these, and you got one down, one
Alli
out of 5.
Did not win the new car.
Nope.
So on this one, she'll be playing for
a new car.
Oh, okay.
All right. What do you want if you send an SOS signal?
You need help.
Hello,
Save
that's
ourselves.
It. Winner.
There we go.
Winner. And
I would have gotten that one.
You are 1 for 2.
Okay.
So far.
Okay. That's embarrassing.
Well, here's one.
Now, Brian, is she competing against the other two teachers? So what can she win? I mean, why is she humiliating herself publicly?
Jim, everybody's a winner here. Jim, it's for fun. Leave it alone.
Oh, I get it.
Okay.
All right. Are you nervous about this one?
A little bit.
But you shouldn't be, because
I missed the Brothers Grimm one. I'm still stuck on
that.
that.
But you knew how to get help.
Right? This is relevant. What does the abbreviation IM stand for?
Instant message.
Well done. That is, wow, you're on a roll now. You are 2.
Or iMessage now.
Is that what it is? Okay.
It could be, yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see. I wouldn't have known that either. So you are 2 for 3, Alli. And your next question, this is going to be a tough one. If you were a baby boomer, I think you might know this, but we'll see what happens here. What was the first toy advertised on television?
Ooh.
I'm not that old, but I'm going to go with Slinky.
Not bad. That's a. Really,
Can I guess? Is that right?
It's not right.
I'm going to guess. Can I guess? You want to put the camera on me, or do you want to keep showing Mike? I mean, who's important here?
Just guess.
Play-Doh.
No.
Oh.
Right. Mr. Potato Head.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mr.
That's a good
Potato
one.
Head.
Okay.
The guy with the short legs, funny glasses, and a head as big as a potato. So, yeah, you are
kind of basically what I see every day when I look in the mirror.
2 and 2 out of your
right.
first 4 questions. This is question number 5 to push you over the 50% mark.
Okay.
Who built the Western world's first theaters? This is multiple choice. The Egyptians, Greeks, or Romans? Who built the Western world's first theaters?
Well,
go ahead.
I've taught ancient civilizations, and the Greeks were really the founders of it, but the Romans kind of perfected it.
That is not the answer they have here. Can you please be more specific?
I'm going to go with the Greeks.
That's it. You're the winner so far.
Wow.
Yeah. Well done, Alli. Outstanding
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah, and really no pressure at all. You're on radio and you're asking questions that likely a lot of people couldn't answer.
I wouldn't. I would have got the SOS one.
So, yeah, 3 of 5. Well done. We're getting ready to take a break here. Alli, thank you. We're gonna go. We got 2 more teachers we're going to humiliate and embarrass on this very radio show. You're listening to Kearney Live. Thanks for being with us. Alli Baldwin, English teacher and swim coach at Kearney High School. We love what you're doing. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And stay with us. We'll be right back.
A special thank you going out to underwriters like these for their support of KPGZ.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. The world has become fast-paced, and we understand that you are busy. That's why we offer a banking experience that's as simple and stress-free as can be. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. You may just be getting off the ground or ready to move into your brick and mortar building. Kearney Trust will provide you and your business with the resources you need to succeed. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
And welcome back to Kearney Live. You are listening to the one and only live radio show here in Kearney, Missouri. And in fact, some of you may be watching it because we simulcast on Facebook. Yes, on our Facebook page, 102.7 FM. And we do this every week, and it is a wonderful thing. Today, we're interviewing 3 teachers from the Kearney, Missouri School District, and our second teacher is with us, and I want to introduce Rachel DeFlice. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's that crowd. Yeah, man, they love you. The kids love you. You teach science and other things at the high school. Tell me about what you're doing over there.
I will be teaching 2 sections of biology, 2 sections of earth science, and genetics at the high school.
Genetics sounds advanced.
Yeah, I have 4 kids in my first class. So.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And now, do they have to be selected to be in that course, or?
I don't think so. I think they elect it, but it is kind of an elective science course for kids that are truly interested in that area.
But if anybody just decided they wanted to take it, I mean, they don't. There's no pre-qualifier.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they can just take it.
Interesting. And earth sciences, tell me about that. What things would I learn if I sat in class?
Weather, volcanoes, earthquakes, plate tectonics, all of those types of things.
Outstanding.
Plate tectonics.
Yes.
So there's a big movement in the San Andreas Fault.
Yes.
Are we all going to die? What's up?
We're going to be all right.
We're going to be
It's
okay.
Slow moving. You're good.
So
You're scaring our audience, Jim.
There was, well, it's either going to be that or the murder hornets. So you choose whatever makes you happy.
I hear buzzing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just been informed the murder hornets are outside.
Right? I think what. Go ahead, Jim. Be relevant.
Have you noticed? So because I'm a little older, not as old as Mike, but why is Brian over there sweating? You're sweating. So
we're the kind of students you hope to not ever have.
Yeah, that's very true. So I as I was growing up, I had never experienced an earthquake. In the last 5 years, well, maybe 6 years or whatever, I've probably experienced maybe 5 or 6. In fact, I was in I was in Philadelphia last week, and they had one out on the East Coast, and I felt, and I've gotten to the point now when I feel them, I'm like, oh, we're having an earthquake. It's no big deal.
The earth.
But I remember the first time I felt one, I was like, what in the world? So why are we having more earthquakes, especially here?
I believe the faults are probably just shifting. I can't tell you the definitive reason.
How old is the earth?
Is not my expertise. How old is the earth?
Right.
Oh man, that's a no comment kind of question.
I know it's a tough thing, and when I hear when I hear billions of years ago, that you go places on vacation and you see
right
geological beautiful things, and the Grand Canyon, for example, and you hear billions of years ago, and then you hear things like the mountains, the huge mountain range that was once in the Ozarks and down near the San Andreas Fault. Is that correct? Or is that which one is that? Which fault is that?
There's a fault there, but I don't believe it's San Andreas. That's the California one.
So the one in Missouri is where somebody can maybe call in or write that in for us.
Does it
Facebook
really
Live.
matter? What are you talking about?
Jim, I'm trying to engage people in the show, unlike you do. You just run them off, unfortunately. We are so happy to have Rachel DeFlice in here with us, and we're going to ask more ridiculous questions of you. So be prepared for more silliness from either Jim or myself. In the meantime, Brian's going to run the board like he's doing right now, shaking his head and just, which is really fun to watch. And I love this question, too. When did you decide, I'm going to be a teacher. This is what I want to do?
About a year and a half ago.
What?
Yeah. I've been substitute teaching with the Liberty School District for 8 years.
Well, there it is.
And
we were talking about that.
I kind of just kept doing it, so I thought maybe it would be a good time to be an official teacher.
So did you did you already have your teaching degree?
No.
You had to go back and get it?
I had to go back. I went to an online program, and I finished a full 4-year teaching degree in a year and 3 months.
Good grief. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So it's more than when they say a certificate. I mean, you sort of think
I have a biology degree and a certificate.
Outstanding.
So I'm sorry, Mike. What do they, when you go to get your teaching certificate? What do you have to?
I have 122 credit hours of college plus a full bachelor's degree in Parks and Recreation on top of that. But the most recent one, your credit hours, and then you have observation hours, and then you have student teaching hours, and then you take a lot of big tests that are a lot like ACT tests, but they're specific to your field.
I am sweating just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a
lot
teacher,
of hoops.
clearly.
Yeah. So when I hear certificate, though, it sort of gives you the idea of, somebody gives you a pamphlet, you read it overnight, and you go take the test the next day. Right. Exactly. So it seems like there would be Jim just coffee went through his nose right on the show.
It's just the way you
Mayday.
You made it sound like. So you want to be a teacher? Read this pamphlet.
Right. Exactly.
It's a little trifold little number here.
Yeah, that was the element of humor, Jim.
I'm unfamiliar with the term.
Indeed. So congratulations. And when you said 122 hours, you didn't do all that in a year, did you?
I did all of those credits in a year, yeah.
Gosh, that is fantastic.
But you had your biology degree.
Nope, that was new.
Wow.
I had a bachelor's in Parks and Rec and very few. I think I had maybe 15 hours transfer in, and the rest of them I completed in a year.
Do they have a program like that for brain surgeons?
No.
I couldn't do that.
This would be the start, though. Get your biology degree first.
Well, that seems, reasonable.
I remember when I got my brain surgeon degree. It was a 4-page pamphlet. Oh, okay, I'm out.
You can tell you're not dealing with a brain surgeon crew here at all. So our hands are clean, though. We know that much, and we know how to wear the mask. The Lone Ranger mask is what we wear in here. If anybody remembers who that is, who the heck is the Lone Ranger? Yes. So before we get to your questions, Rachel, tell me some of the things that as you have become a teacher and worked as a substitute, I would imagine that as a substitute, some of the kids have a tendency. Do they still take advantage of a substitute?
Heck yeah, they do.
They hassle you,
oh,
right?
Yeah.
What's the nastiest trick one of those little kids pulled on you?
I don't even know.
It's maybe I would think there might have been something memorable. I don't know.
Not anything major. It's just a lot of talking and trying to get attention.
Right.
We were talking before. I was thinking, being a substitute teacher might be kind of fun thing to do on the side.
It's a great job.
But,
you should do it.
But you're telling me now that that's not a good idea, because don't try to play tricks on me. I get violent.
Those kids who hassled you as you were a substitute teacher, most of them end up in radio. Just so you know.
Probably. I do have one moment. I remember doing drama. And I had a kid climb up in the catwalk and start throwing things off of it. That was a good time. And I think they had a pretty epic battle with canoe paddles and other props from backstage as well.
What in the world?
Yep.
This is our youth.
I know it. That sounds like civil unrest.
I had a teacher. He was a former Marine. Of course, this is when I was a kid, so we're talking in the 30s or so. But anyway, he would always come in, and he was big guy. And he'd come in and go, "Be at the ready," and everybody just goes silent. But there was a day we came in, and he was literally sitting on his desk, on the chair on top of his desk, and he used a different approach. Like, I'm half crazy. His classrooms were the most disciplined you've ever seen, because everybody was like, "I don't know what this guy is going to do."
And I think the kids probably loved him. They probably loved him.
Actually, I liked him.
Yeah, they had a lot of respect for them.
Yeah. But there was also that element of, what's he going to do?
Yeah. If he's crazy enough to do that, he's
tomorrow
crazy.
He might be hanging from the ceiling.
You never know.
Doing some weird thing. But
tell me, do you run into disciplinary problems at the high school level? Is it?
Yeah, sometimes.
It seems to me that by then, most kids have gotten that out of their system. Is the trouble subtle or overt?
It really depends on the kid.
Right.
It depends on the day.
I'm just dying for an example.
So I'm going to bail you out on this one. So why'd you choose Kearney?
I chose Kearney. We've been looking at moving up this way for quite a long time. I'm from Bethany, Missouri, so Purple Bulldogs felt kind of like home anyway. And
have you met Geppetto?
I have not met Geppetto.
Here's Geppetto.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, there you go, Geppetto.
I didn't realize he had a name.
He does now.
Right. Hold him up to the camera, Jim.
Well, I'm not going to move him. He's a prop, Mike.
Yeah, he's.
You know how props work?
He's positioned just over. Well, he was.
If I move him, if I move him, then Mike or what's his name, Brian, will be all upset because I moved something here in the studio. But yeah, he's right there.
Have you ever given kids a pop quiz?
I've already got.
I haven't given a pop quiz. No.
These are.
Okay, well,
so
you're about to be given a pop.
Yeah, so here's what happened. Brian sprung this on us before, like when we walked in the door, and we're apparently supposed to give you these little quiz questions, and it's a game.
Oh boy!
Yeah, you didn't know about this either, did you?
No.
Mm-hmm. It's purely for Brian's entertainment value, but
so to try and bail you out, I'm going to put my old person glasses on. If you don't know the answer, we make Mike try to guess too, so we show that.
that I truly don't know anything.
We can make one up.
When Mike did the questions for Alli, I looked just 3 shades of not smart. So anyway, let's begin. And welcome to the program. Your first question. Oh, and if you get all 5, you win a free boat.
Okay.
So just so you know that.
A new home.
No, a boat. Oh, it's a motor? It's a houseboat?
It's a new car.
Anyway, question number 1. What does NASA stand for?
National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
That's correct.
Wow.
One step closer to that houseboat.
Great out of the gate. Go, Rachel.
Sponsored by Missouri Bank. Aren't they going to be happy? True or false? Worms can grow new tails.
Depends on the worm, but I'd say true.
That is correct.
Oh, 2 for 2. Nicely done, Rachel.
I feel a boat in our future.
It's a new boat.
In karate, what color belt comes after blue?
Oh, no.
There's a boat on the line. Would you like to defer the question?
Is it green?
That is incorrect.
I wouldn't know.
So,
What is?
oh, I'm sorry. I read the wrong question.
Okay, so you're still good.
You are
Okay.
still good.
All right.
You are still in the... Yeah, I was right on that one. Okay. I violated the rules.
Wouldn't
So
be the
you're
first
still
time.
in the running for that new boat.
Okay.
You feel better about it?
I do.
Excellent.
No karate.
Here you go. What was the first living thing to travel in space?
I think it was probably a rat.
Oh,
Or a monkey.
no. It was a dog.
It was a dog.
Really?
I
Okay,
would have
I was
said,
going
I
to
would
say
have
monkey.
said a monkey.
Yeah,
I thought it was a chimpanzee.
I knew a
or something.
chimpanzee, but
Yeah.
I figure we usually use rats first on everything. but-
Which proves that
No,
a
that's,
monkey.
that's only in cancer tests. This has been proven to cause cancer in rats.
It proves a monkey could be an astronaut.
It could.
Well, this happened.
Thank you, Mike.
Push a few buttons.
It also proves a dog could be an astronaut.
A dog has been an astronaut.
They have a harder time pushing the button, though.
Yeah.
That's true. They don't have the opposable
Opposable
thumbs.
thumbs.
Yeah.
The
Go.
cat can't flush the toilet, Greg. Okay. Name the colors of the rainbow, and here's the little caveat,
Uh-oh.
in order.
Okay.
Oh, that's not the question, is it?
That is the question.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet.
Nice.
What?
That'd be Roy G. Oh! Yeah, no, that's correct.
You are 4 for 4.
Because it's, no, she missed
I missed the dog.
the
that's
dog
right.
question.
Oh.
She already lost
I wouldn't
the
put
boat.
my dog in a rocket ship, though.
Oh,
so
that's sad. I know.
I'd put a rat in the rocket ship.
I'd put my dog in there because my dog's pretty smart.
I was looking over Jim's shoulder,
Takes
and
after
when
his
you gave that answer, it was almost as if you were reading it. I mean, you just
Well,
nailed
but
it.
if you think about it, it's the Roy G. Biv
Yep.
thing. Remember that?
No.
That's
I know.
That's what I did.
Is that what you
Right.
That's
did?
exactly what I did.
Yeah, well done, though. I remember it now that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Jim.
Ooh, I would get this one.
Okay, let's go with this.
Here we go. The final question.
Okay.
Now you've already lost the boat,
That's okay.
but there is
Rachel DeFlice for the final question.
There is a what do we call it? A backup prize if you get this question.
Yeah.
Consolation prize. It's kind of like you could have had the boat, but now you're playing for this little bag of goodies behind me.
Which
What?
you would have got anyway.
Well, you're not supposed to tell them that.
Go ahead.
There's people, the next person's out in the green room. They don't know. Well, they're listening or probably watching the monitor or whatever. Okay, so what is the main ingredient used in making glass?
Carbon?
You want to think again about that? Are you sure?
No.
Is it something you would find on a beach?
Sand.
Sand.
Yeah,
That is correct.
sand.
So you didn't get the boat, and the boat is provided by Missouri Bank, which they don't know about yet. But you did win
Oh, he's going to get the prize out. Oh,
the consolation
that is,
prize
yeah.
here.
Oh,
And look at that. So you won't
Yeah.
walk out with nothing.
Very nice.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Rachel.
so much.
It is our pleasure. Thanks for
And
being with us.
welcome to Kearney.
Thank you for having me.
And it's so nice to meet you. Thanks for being on the show with us. And you stay with us because we're coming right back with Amanda Timmer, and we're going to see if she can get all 5 questions. Stick around. You're going to find out. You're listening to Kearney Live.
Say thank you to these local businesses who support KPGZ.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. The world has become fast-paced, and we understand that you are busy. That's why we offer a banking experience that's as simple and stress-free as can be. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. You may just be getting off the ground or ready to move into your brick and mortar building. Kearney Trust will provide you and your business with the resources you need to succeed. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
Back on Kearney Live. Hi, Jim. Have a drink of coffee. That's funny. And we are speaking today with 3 school teachers, 3 of the finest people that you would ever hope to meet because they teach right here in the Kearney, Missouri School District, one of the finest school districts right here in the state of Missouri, perhaps the entire world. That's still out for judgment. We're not sure. Anyway, welcome to the show. We've got Amanda Timmer with us right now, and you teach special education. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me, yep, you got to get that. Yeah, that is the studio audience. Those are, and maybe some of your students in there. I don't know, but is that kind of what the way they respond when you come to class every morning? They kind of give you a little round of applause and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Sometimes.
Yeah, I believe that's true. Special education, what a noble cause that is, and how did you decide to do that? When, why did you make that decision? And tell us how you got here.
Yes, I've always wanted to be a teacher. I had a great experience all through school. I enjoy learning, and I've had some family members who have had some difficulties learning, and just sometimes the way their brains work and stuff is very fascinating to me. So when I went to school, I was like, I'm going to do special education, and that's where I've been. Right.
And when, at what point in your life, in your age, how old were you when you decided that was what you wanted to do? Were you out of school? Were you an adult?
No, I was still in school when I wanted to be a teacher. And before I finished high school, I knew I wanted to do special education.
And again, I think a lot of people who become school teachers, they obviously had, I would imagine, had great careers throughout school. Or they wouldn't want any part of it. They want to get out of it as soon as possible. But in your case, did you have a particular teacher, or was there a class or some specific thing, person, or event that made you say, yeah, this is why I want to do this?
My first grade teacher was awesome, Mrs. Babbage. And my 5th grade teacher, and I had a lot, when you get to middle school and stuff, you change classes, so there's just a lot of them, but that's a fun experience too. So a lot of good ones.
Right. And then, and so you brought home good grades then?
Yeah.
For the most part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any C's in there? Mostly A's and B's?
Mostly A's and B's. I'm pretty sure I got like a D on a science test once in like 4th grade, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
Bragger. You know what I think's interesting though is when every time we ask, and it's not just the people in here, but we ask people all the time, about their elementary school teachers, all the way up through high school. But most people remember their teachers,
right?
So they make such a big impact on you
They do.
Good or bad, but, whatever.
Well, yeah. And and seriously, we talked a little bit about disciplinary problems and things of that nature. And
why is it that you're always bringing up a discipline problem? It's like it hits home to you.
No, it doesn't. Actually, I was a good kid in school. But what I was going to say, seriously, Jim, was that those kids that sometimes acted out were in the vast minority. And even as I remember those kids in grade school, the way that they were handled by the teachers was carefully, and in a way that they did at least they got their work done finally, and even if it wasn't perhaps their best work, they were moved off from where they were into a better place. Yes. If that makes any sense at all. Do you? I mean, you're in a whole different environment with special education, and I know the methods are different. But talk a little bit about how you are working with special needs kids and how it differs, I guess, in a major way from just the other two that have been in here who aren't dealing with special needs kids.
Yeah. They just learn a little differently sometimes, and especially they may have more things that make it difficult for them to learn. So you just have to get to know each one, and they're all so different, which is kind of what makes it fun. They, some of them do really well with visual things, and others like to hear things, and so it's just neat having to switch it up and do what each one needs. And there are some behaviors sometimes, but we take it a day at a time, right. And you just help them work through it. And if you have to come back to that task later, you do. I mean, I don't have any, desire to do laundry or dishes, but I still manage to get it done every day. So
that's the truth. Or dust or any of that other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hear that. Interesting. And again, I'm just the fact that you're working with the special needs kids. In fact, we've met a number of the kids who have come through the entire special needs program, graduated high school, and who are now gainfully employed.
Yeah.
And they've been here on the radio show. And we have, one of the things I notice is just how highly functional they all are. And I think one of the ideas that something that occurred to me as we met these kids and came all the way through the Kearney system, is I think the expectation you have of the kids. How much of that enters into it, and do they sense that you expect them to be good? You expect them, good at what they do, to be better, to improve.
Yeah, I think sometimes. I'm going to work with the littles now. I've had experience with middle schoolers, so they're kind of in the middle, but we work really hard to build that foundation. So not only do they have academic skills, but life skills, right, so that they can be and do as much as they can as they become an adult.
Yeah. And there's, clearly systems of rewards and things like that as they achieve certain things, they get something. Even if it's a gold star or something like that.
Yep.
Right?
Some of them do really well with a reward system. So they have like a few tasks and then a break, or a few tasks and then this fun activity. So.
And the way, when you explain that, I think you described the different learning styles. All through adulthood, every single one of us has a slightly different learning style. And it's interesting to see now, I think, throughout public school, I'm beginning to notice more and more that teachers are willing to sort of break away from the sort of, here's the standardized way we're going to teach, and we're not going to divert at all from that. So get on board and pay attention.
Yeah.
I felt as if, at times when I was younger, that was a little bit of the methodology. And then you would get one of those teachers that recognized that you were a visual person, or you were better at language skills than you were at math, and so on and so forth. And even math could be taught in a different way.
Yes.
Did you ever feel that as you were going through school that maybe has it changed since you went to school, or was it like that when you were there?
I would say it was probably more traditional. I'm not that old, right, but I think that we have learned a lot about the way kids learn and how they're all different, so that we can change the way we teach to help them.
Right. Right. And I think that's exciting. And I know as I hear about Montessori has become hugely popular.
Yes.
And as people are making choices sometimes to not go to public schools and things like that, although you'd be foolish not to go to this public school. That's just a little plug for you, because I would say that's one of the best places you could go. You do understand that the Montessori method is all about clearly teaching people in different ways, in the ways that sort of puts them in a place of where their strengths lie.
Yeah, and that also lets them explore a little bit more. My 2 boys actually go to a Montessori school,
awesome.
So they have a little bit exploratory learning instead of sit down and do this right now.
Right.
So I have a question that I asked everybody else. Why Kearney?
I grew up in Liberty, so I've been in a really big school district, and that's been my experience teaching also. And we've been away out of the state for 3 years, and as we came back, I was looking for something a little bit smaller and more close-knit, where I could really feel like I'm making a difference with a little maybe smaller population, but with kiddos specifically, instead of, not that I didn't feel like I might have accomplished that before, but sometimes you just get such a large number, it's really hard to give them so much attention.
Yeah, the Kearney, how are the student numbers here, teacher to student ratios? Is it significantly lower here in Kearney, or how's that work?
I would say it's at least moderately lower. Generally, I think it's about 25-ish, 27, and a lot's still changing right now, but I think it's closer to 20 right now. So
wow, yeah, that's great. I mean, that's terrific, because it does give you a little more time. Do you ever just feel like you're too rushed to do all the things you have to do to get to every single child, or do you put pressure on yourself to make sure that you interact with every kid every day?
Yeah, I stay busy a lot of the day, and there are some times where you don't get as much one-on-one with each kiddo, especially if somebody else is having a rough time and needs that attention. But you just make it up the next day, or at least check in with them before they go home.
Right.
So greet everybody and then make sure they're going home on a good note too.
Right. We're listening today. That's the voice of Amanda Timmer, and you teach at the Kearney, Missouri School District, and you teach special education. As a special ed instructor, are you more involved on a regular basis, I would imagine, with the kids' parents?
Yes, I would say we like to be. I love to keep that line open so that we all feel comfortable when and if we need to reach out about a success or a problem, that we can do that without feeling like we're bothersome.
Right.
Well, speaking of success, did anyone tell you that you're going to be playing a trivia game today?
I did not know
they
that.
didn't tell us either.
Yeah,
as
the pressure's on,
we've
Amanda.
discussed, but yeah, so they sprung this on us. But the prize for today it was a boat for Rachel. She did not win the boat. It was a car for Alli. She did not win the car. If you get all 5 questions correct, you win.
You get to have lunch with Jim Dickerson.
So here are your choices. You get to choose. If you get all 5 questions right, you can have the car that Alli lost. You can have the boat that Rachel lost. Or you can have lunch with me. Of the 3, which would you like to have?
I can't have all 3?
Oh,
no,
boy.
I'm sorry.
Anything but lunch with Jim.
Yeah. Which would you like to play for, the car or the boat?
Let's do the car.
You're going to go
let's
for
do
the
it.
car. All right, here you go. No
All
pressure.
right, Amanda. We've got Amanda Timmer, special education instructor right here in the Kearney, Missouri School District. And your first question. Amanda, what do you call a scientist who studies dinosaurs?
A paleontologist.
Well done. Yes,
Nice.
ring-a-ding-a-ding-a. One for one.
Little Jurassic Park fan there.
All right.
My boys love dinosaurs.
Well, of
Can
course.
could you really make a dinosaur like they did in Jurassic Park?
Like, for real? Build it?
No, like use the DNA strand. See, what we found was you can use the DNA strand of a frog.
We haven't.
That was a Rachel question. She's the
Right,
science
exactly.
person.
Jim,
Well,
we have
were
important
talking
questions to
plate
ask.
tectonics. Okay, you're still in the running. Let's go.
All right, newts, salamanders, and toads are in what family of animals?
Amphibians?
Very well done. 2 for 2. You are fast out of the gate. I mean to tell you. All right, we got Amanda Timmer in here with us today. I was thinking of the Brothers Grimm. This is the third question. You're 2 for 2. What object inspired Isaac Newton's universal law of gravitation? What item?
An apple?
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe it. It's almost as if you knew the answer. Oh,
Missouri Bakes get a little nervous right about now.
Amanda Timmer, I know you're going to have, I feel sorry for you. You're going to have lunch with Jim. Okay, let's see. This is your fourth question of 5. Which famous 2 explorers set off on an overland expedition to the Pacific Ocean in 1803?
Lewis and Clark?
Oh, my gosh, yes. The answer is yes.
Wait a minute. These are far easier than
What
the
happened?
one.
I know. Did you notice that, too?
Alli blew hers right out of the gate. Number one question.
I know it. You're 4 for 4. All right, let me see. Oh, this one might possibly be. All right. In what word game do players write grammar words on a notepad to create a funny story?
A Mad Lib.
Oh, my God.
What in the world?
You win the house, you win the car, you win lunch with Jim.
Yes.
That is exciting. And we've put all those items in a bag.
We do have.
Which, surprisingly enough, looks like the bag that the consolation prize.
Yep. Small town, big sound bag.
Look at that right there.
Yep, look at that. Loaded with all kinds of goodies.
That's yours. You get that.
Awesome.
Amanda Timmer, 5 for 5.
Woo!
And the champion, the winner of our free teacher, our 3 teachers here today. We had Alli Baldwin, Rachel DeFlice, and Amanda Timmer. And next week, guess what? We're going to have, finally, I get to meet this guy. Dr. Matthew Miller is going to be on the show with us right here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And he's going to find out just how silly we are, and we're going to ask him some questions, too.
His questions might be a little harder.
I'm thinking they might be tougher than these, but I think he might get the one. He might get the paleontologist one, but I don't know. We'll see. We got to thank you so much for being with us. We are so happy that you joined us. Thanks for being with us on Facebook Live, and thanks for being with us every week. And thank you so much to Kearney Trust for sponsoring this very program. We appreciate everything you do for us here at the radio station. Go Bulldogs. See you next week.